Hi, Susan. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 cases, we have to do our presentation on this case study in this way. But we do hope that you will enjoy our video presentation. In this critical moment, we hope that you could take care of yourself, stay healthy, and stay away from the virus. So for this presentation, firstly, I would like to begin by introducing my team member, which is Nafiza, Zhi, Rapi, and lastly me, Yinshan. The content that we'll cover in this presentation will be first the introduction that consists of a background of the project management firm Hesitant and a brief overview on the case study. After that, we'll follow by 5 of the answer that respond to your question in the guideline. And lastly, the presentation will wrap up with a conclusion that cover what we have learned after reading the entire case study. So sit back, grab a pack of cracker, and hope you will enjoy our presentation.
Here I am going to discuss about Hesitant case study. Hesitant is a consulting firm that from Canada that has been working since 25 years, and they have worked in 46 countries. Most of their projects were in Africa. Now they had went on a new venture in Asia, Saranga. So now I'm going to discuss about the project description, that is like Maralinga Lodana project, and the responsibility of Hesitant is to supervise the workers and also designing regarding the bridge, and there would be Sorangan government staff that would be working. It is a 245-kilometer highway along the western coast of island of Tola, from Maralinga in north to Ladon in south, as a part of Sorangan's development, where the most of the emphasis is on the development in communication and transportation sector. There had been a lot of problems that can be due to rain, due to like the religious thing, and also that some issues due to like not cooperating of Tolan and Hakonis like staff, and Hesitant has to like work too hard on it. They have to change their project managers. Now I am going to discuss regarding stakeholders and the goals. First is our main is Hesitant International, and their goal is to develop the operations in Asia and to complete the project in the given time frame, and also they have to advise regarding the technique on road construction and the equipments. Another main goal of them is to deliver the training to the Sorangan staff, so that they can phase out in the 4 years. Another is Waiver Limited. There is to use local experience to gain proposal acceptance. Next is TBL. They have to provide the construction skills to the workers. Next is our financing company, that is SHT. They have to ensure the project complete in given time frame and the given budget. Then is local people. Their goal is to get job opportunities and the development of their area. Next, our construction workers, there is to work efficiently and to complete their goal. Next is our local government. The main focus of our goal of local government is to provide employment and to close the or low the animosity of Haqqanis and the Tola people, and to easy the sets of people to coming and go in the area and to provide employment.
What should we prioritize in a project? Our team has discussed and come up with a few aspects that we should prioritize in a project. First thing I would like to mention is the project charter. A project charter is serving as an informal contract between project team and project sponsor to enable the beginning of detailed planning for a project. This document serves as a guiding document that members could refer throughout the project life cycle. The charter communicates the project value or why we need to do the project to every member in the project. And this will highly avoid any unnecessary time and money waste in the later stage of the project due to differences of opinion. Secondly is the limit and constraints of the project. We should list out the limit and constraint of the project, as many as possible. Being able to understand well the expected issue of a project will allow an effective monitoring and control during project execution, and this will possibly lead to a successful project which delivered on time, within budget, and meet all the required scope. Lastly is the communication plan for stakeholders. Stakeholders are the people or organization which attitude and action have a very important impact on the success of your project. Effective communication will ensure that they receive information that is relevant to their needs, and this will build a positive attitude to your project.
Okay, I will introduction the question 3. What are the problem and their causes? The problem have 5 different parts. First one is pro-planning. Pro-planning have 5 information. First one is project state late initial phase. Because Marina met earthquake, so they cannot improve suitable living conditions for project manager. And second is circling a project manager without considering their suitability. Because Frank is not suitable for the project. Also, John couldn't take the responsibility as too because his family. This affects the speed of the project. Next one, project approved missing the best time. Because government couldn't give official approval the document quickly. And next one is project progress is slow. Because Hudson doesn't have a lot of experience on Southeast Asia. And the last is weather impact of the project schedule. Problem 2, technical problems. Here include 6 different parts. The first one is the equipment cannot be used. The equipment have to be imported from Canada. Transport vehicles arrived late without fuel because they don't have a budget for fuels. Next one is some bridge, road, and infrastructure were unavailable. And because the area limited the project progress, so bridge and other infrastructure cannot meet the project demand. And next one is workers training take a lot of time. Because of OGT, it could start only when the construction start. So also lose a lot of time. And next one is workers make a technical mistake. And last one is bridge cannot be used built source. Problem 3, intercultural relations. First one is construction affected by the correct situation and regional politics. That's affecting the project quality and time. Because of the long-term turbulence in Tola, So construction has too slow. And next one is SHD supervisor was not able to control the local staff because senior SHD staff was Hakonese, but local staff was Tolanese. Because of this history, they have so many animosity. Hakonese don't want to stir anything in political unstable area. Probably for budget process. In this case, the project budget was done on annual basis rather than for the inter-project period. And it's extremely inflexible. As we know in 2008, the financial crisis in the world. So the economy of the Soringa received a heavy blow. So the project lose a lot of budget support in this year. The last part is a problem 5, inconsistent communication. In this case, they have two information. The first one is a problem core in the comparison and the communication between the Hastings and SHD. Because of staff of SHD haven't informed hesitant of next step, and both sides lack effective communication. Hesitant lacks control over SHD. And the next information is which time and the resource of the project. Because they have different objective, so design team can allow able to use their expertise.
If I'm the new project manager for this case, what would I do? The first thing we would do is to make sure that the shared understanding of this project is there between Hesitant and SHD before the project kickoff. In this case study, Hesitant and SHD are seeing the project differently. SHD think that this is only a road improvement project, but Hesitant brought along a design team to prepare for road construction. And now the expertise of this team was not helpful at all. Such absence of shared understanding between stakeholders will create many undesired situations that will impact negatively to the project scope. If we share a same vision for the project, both project team and project sponsor will have a clear expectation of the deliverables. Unnecessary time and resources waste can be avoided. Of course, as this project already started, what would be our main priority to focus on is something which classified as important and urgent at the current situation. The things that we would prioritize in this case is to arrange a communication plan with stakeholders to rectify the discipline issue of operators. Why is this the top priority that we selected to do? Because we think that this matter is closely related to the project budget. Operator misconduct, such as using company material for their personal use, will directly affect the expenses of the project. And this aspect, the project budget, is the most important bottom line for SHD. Next, why is this action is urgent? We think that the operator discipline will impact directly to the schedule of the project. The schedule of the project is what matters to the project at the current stage. For example, if an operator always taking long hour break or not doing their job well, this will definitely prolong the project, which is not good for the project because the current objective of the project is to boost out the progression. That's why we choose this operation to rectify the discipline issue of operators as our top priority to do at this moment.
Hi, my name is Nafisa, and I'm going to talk about questions number 5, which is what did you learn about preparing for a case? So for this, I answer in 4 different answers. The first answer is to choose the right person for the job. I learned from the Hazleton case study that choosing the right person for the job as the project manager is critically important. Choosing the right person for the job is critical because it can affect the whole project development. Background screening and familiarity with the issues are like the 2 top most important backgrounds that you have to look for the project manager, but also the willingness of the person to be in charge is also critically important because they will have to go abroad far from home, and if they are not up to the challenge that they're gonna face in the new environment that they're gonna work, it's gonna be really a big issue. They cannot perform maximum because they don't like the situation. So choosing the right project manager, not only screening the background, not only familiarity with the issues, but also you have to choose the right person who are willing to go for the challenge. The second one is to develop a communication plan. Developing a communication plan before starting a project is critically important because when you have a good communication plan, you don't really misunderstand each other during the project time. And when you don't have any good communication plan, you will tend to misunderstand each other, and it will be hard for the project to run smoothly in the future if you misunderstand each other. If a communication problems occurred in the project, it can affect the whole process of the project. To prepare for a case, it is better to create a clear communication plan within all parties that's involved in the project to avoid any risk of misunderstanding, but also it will create trust. If you see at the Hazleton case study, you will see that the biggest main problem in the project is actually a communication gap. There is a huge communication gap between partners, between stakeholders, and actually also between each others. And that communication gap actually affected the whole project itself. So having a good communication plan before a project start is very important. The third one is to create a well-developed project charter. So what is a project charter? So project charter is basically an informal contract that serves as an understanding between the project team and stakeholders. To prepare for a case, it is better to have a project charter that is signed by all parties involved to avoid any mistakes during the project and also to create a guideline during the project development. Having a good project charter in a project is really important because not only that it serves as an informal contract or it serves as a guideline, but it can also serve as a commitment and also making sure that everyone will do their part and making sure that the project will run smoothly. And the last point is to have a good contingency plan. Having a good contingency plan will enable the company to become more flexible if any problems arise in the future. It will also create a quicker response to overcome the problem that may arise in the future. To prepare for a case, it's better to have a well-developed contingency plan because it can also minimize losses. For example, in the Hazleton case study, we can see that when the first project manager arrived on site, they don't have any transportation, so they have to wait for a transportation to be sent. When the transportation arrives, they don't have any fuel. And because they are inflexible and they don't have any spare budget for the fuel, it delays the project again. But if they have a good contingency plan, if they are more flexible because they have a good contingency plan, the problems can be solved sooner. They don't really have to delay the project because they have a contingency plan to overcome a problem and to overcome something that arises in the future. So, coming to the end of the presentation, I'm going to talk about the conclusion and recommendation. To avoid any similar problems that happened in the Hazleton case study, the assigned project manager should first learn to prioritize tasks in the project. In the Hazleton case study, we can see that the project manager doesn't really do a good job on prioritizing tasks, and it eventually creates failures on the project. Not only that it creates failure, but it also creates a bad image for the company. In a conclusion, if I am the new project manager, one recommendation that I would make is I would make sure that Hazleton International and SHD have the shared understanding of the project before the project started. Because if you don't have a good understanding of the project, there will be a lot of misunderstanding and mistakes throughout the project, and that could cause the project to be delayed even more. Also, a clearly defined scope is very useful for both project team and project sponsors to expect a good deliverables. When they have a defined scope, unnecessary time and resource waste can also be avoided and minimize the risk of project failure. And that's all of our presentation. Thank you.